Okay, so now on to the meat in between the two slices of bread, which was I. So John, over to you.
Hi, I'm John Hunter. I'm our functional lead for our implementation. I'm going to throw a lot of statistics at you, like our number of users and POs and so on. As far as when we started, we got rid of 5 systems. When we went to KFS, we had our legacy financial system, FRS. We had an in-house document processing system that we called the campus information system. We had SiteQuest for our catalog purchases, an in-house system for our capital assets, and CashNet for our non-student cash receipts. And we had 5 logins, 5 passwords. The management of those 5 systems all went away when we went into Kuali. And we have single sign-in through our portal into the system. Some of the things we did pre-conversion, the question earlier, we just added a 0 to our existing account numbers. We were happy with our chart. It was meeting our needs for financial statements, for indirect costs, for our state feed. We saw no reason to make any widespread changes. So it was actually David Lyons from the Kubos, his idea, and we, once we heard of that, we kind of just looked at each other and it was a duh moment. We're just not going to mess thinking any further with our chart. Our object codes, we did do revision on our income and expense codes, totally revamped them from top to bottom. We did a lot of data cleanup as we went into the system. We got rid of a slew of accounts. We got rid of 1/3 of our object codes. And we got rid of probably about 1/3 of the attributes that we had. And once we did that analysis, mapped the existing attributes over to KFS. And we did add, wait, that's on my next slide. Let's see. Kuali has a concept of fiscal officer, account manager, and account supervisor. Every account has 3 names or the roles attached to that account. We did not have that data in our legacy system, so we set up a web interface to collect all of that information from our users, and that worked very well. And vendors, we just kind of decided our vendor file was not the greatest, and we just decided to convert any vendor we paid within the last 13 months. So we went live on July 1st with 18,000 accounts. RSmart helped us with a conversion of our purchase orders, all our existing purchase orders, which includes small dollar documents. We converted only the open line items on those purchase orders. And so far, that seems to have been a good decision for us. We haven't run into any problems with that. Our balances, FRS to Kuali, as far as balances, was a very simple conversion. We really didn't expend a lot of brain cells to get our balances in there, balance to the penny on the first day. We did add 25 custom attributes, mostly contract and grant related, but things to help us with our bond accounting, with our state accounting, with interdisciplinary accounts, things like that to help us manage those processes. And adding the custom attributes, again, was not significant ordeal for us. As far as users, we've got 3,400 users, which includes the fiscal officers, 290 fiscal officers. The fiscal officer is really the person that's in the system every day doing transaction processing. We have our PIs in the account supervisor role, which is about 830. And the bulk of our users are really our P card holders. We have 2,700 P cards, but really only about 1/4 of those P cards are active cards. So as you kind of weed all that down, in reality we have about 900 to 1,000 active users in the system. We're seeing on average 150 to 200 concurrent users. and we're seeing about 10 to 15 SQL statements executing at any one time. So system response is very good. Pat talked about, we have had some problems at month end, but they've been rather isolated. We've been able to pinpoint the source, and we're trying to work around those through other methods. As far as our batch processing overnight, our time is in line with what Sterling said about their experiences at Indiana. Our legacy system, we were processing 7 to 9 hours per night. With KFS, we start at 7 p.m. and we're down for between 60 and 75 minutes per night. So we're very, very pleased with that performance. Month end takes a little longer, upwards of 3 hours. But again, comparing that to what we had, 9 to 11 hours, it's great. I'm one of those people that gets called at midnight when the system has problems, and so I'm called at 8 p.m. now when I'm awake, and I like that, except for I have not been called. So our batch processing has gone off, except for the first day, without any problems whatsoever. We're pulling in 15,000 to 20,000 entries into the scrubber every day. We have 4 enterprise feeds, which are from our kind of trusted sources. We have Oracle, Payroll, Banner, Accounts Receivable, and CashNet for our student receipts. And we do daily encumbrance updates for our payroll encumbrances. We had about 20 feeds that were billing feeds from our on-campus units, mail service, telecom, and so on. We whittled that 20 down to 8 core feeds that come in through batch processing, and we've pushed the other 12 that are small volume producers onto the system, into the service billing document. And that has worked really well. Where we had problems with our collector feeds were where those units did not have technical expertise. If they had technical expertise in their units, they were able to adapt to the collector feed very easily. But those that didn't have the technical expertise, we had to give them some help.